How do you know when it is the Lord who speaks to you? I'm going to tell you right now. Hey, I'm author Michael Ramsey, and this is Michael Ramsey Books, where I show people how to transform their ordinary relationship with God into a spiritual one. If you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit the red subscribe button and ring the notification bell now. I've lived in Houston, Texas now for nearly 40 years. If I were to travel abroad, possibly to Europe, and I happened to run into someone who also hailed Houston as their hometown, but they didn't know the name of the baseball team or the names of any of the major highways running through the city, and they were oblivious to the heat and humidity we get here 7 months of the year, I would very quickly ascertain this person has never even set foot in Houston. It's kind of the same way when I hear people say, "The Lord spoke to me," or when I hear someone say, "The Lord led me to do this or that." When I ask, "How do you know for sure it was the Lord?" the answer is usually something like, "Well, it had to be because I prayed about it." Or it might be something like, "A door opened and things just kind of inexplicably fell into place and everything worked out, so it must have been the Lord." To me, this is utter nonsense. It is a guess at best. That's not how it works. And it's certainly not the answer I would give. So just how do you know when the Lord speaks to you? But first, understand, the Lord showing you something is very, very different than Him speaking to you directly. In order to show you something, He may cause unusual things to happen around you, or He may orchestrate anomalous events, or He may cause a last-minute change in plans. Suddenly you find yourself in an unexpected situation, and the truth hits you like a ton of bricks. You were shown, not told, in this case. But when the Lord speaks to you directly, your spirit moves. You sense His presence. And when you sense His presence, you're filled with the Shekinah of the Lord, even for days to come. And if ever you've been in the Shekinah of the Lord, you'll never mistake it for something else. It's like a taste or a smell that's quite unique, unlike anything in this world, and something you'll never forget is the Shekinah of the Lord. Now, if you don't sense the presence of the Lord, it doesn't necessarily mean He's not there. When your spirit isn't strong and you're not experienced spiritually, it's hard. But after you've matured spiritually, which some people, that is, most people, even those who've been in the Lord their entire life, have failed to do, it becomes much easier. That's because you're much more sensitive after you cross not the Red Sea, but the Jordan River. Your spiritual senses become keenly aware of even the slightest movements of the Holy Spirit in your spirit. You know when the Lord is near. When you sense the Master's presence, it is then that His word comes to you. Sometimes you're given a word or a phrase or a verse. It is as though he spoke to you, and you understand him perfectly, even though you didn't hear it with your ears. His word to you is rarely what you are expecting. That's one of the things that makes it so very, very interesting when you truly walk with the Lord, which is what you should strive to do. When the Lord speaks to you, his words carry weight, even a single word. By that I mean the word or phrase you're given tells you more than the dictionary meaning. For example, if I were to say Italy, if you had never been to Italy, it's just a country in Europe. But if you visited Italy, maybe you went on your honeymoon there, then it would have a very different meaning to you, but only to you. If you ask the Lord for something and he answers you this way, take only what's needed, no excessiveness. It speaks volumes more than just a simple yes or no. Interestingly, you know exactly what the Lord means when he says no excessiveness. It is as though he explained it to you. In fact, the more you ponder it, the more it resonates in your spirit, the more you see the full implications of what he means when he says no excessiveness. You may even know the why, or you may know the why later. It is truly fascinating to have this kind of relationship with the Lord. And if you don't have this kind of relationship with the Lord, it's time to change that. But that doesn't mean you need to try harder or be a better person. As I discussed last time, instead, you must be born again if you haven't been already. That means being baptized, going beneath the water and into the Lord's death, Romans 6:3-4. Then you can receive the forgiveness of sins and the gift of the Holy Spirit, Acts 2:38. But not until you've done what the Lord commanded. But baptism, the crossing of the Red Sea, is only the beginning of your spiritual journey. Like the children of Israel, there's a desert to cross before you come to the Jordan and enter into the kingdom. That's why I'm writing this book, which will be available soon. The Spiritual Christian, Volume 1, The Desert. And my other book, The Exchange, is a Christian-based thriller, and hopefully it will be coming out soon as well. I think you're going to love this book. It'll make you laugh, cry, and keep you in suspense the entire time. Next time, next step. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, be sure and do so now. That way you don't miss a single video. Can't wait until next time. Like me on Facebook and visit me at michaelramseybooks.com.